Let's go ahead and get into the topic of conversation, man. Let me tell you this. OKC showed the reason why they are champions. They really did last night. They really showed why they are the defending NBA champions. Say what you want about OKC, but one thing you can't take from them, and I said it on my last live, is that OKC plays good as a team. And as I was watching that game, Stephon Castle, man, listen, Stephon Castle. You have to do better, man. You have to do better. You have to understand. There was a couple of fouls, um, you know, that was made on him, and I believe he lost his cool. And if you don't know how to channel your emotions to a certain extent, it's gonna mess up your game. De'Aaron Fox, De'Aaron Fox, you know, he played good in the first quarter, but as you can tell throughout the game that he was still favoring that sore ankle. You can tell. And I'm gonna say this, man. It was a tough loss for the San Antonio Spurs. It was a tough loss. You needed that win. Now OKC wins and they get back home court advantage. They came and they conquered. They came, pause, and they conquered. So here's a tweet from Magic Johnson. He said that the Oklahoma City Thunder showed us all exactly why they're the champions tonight. They were down 15-0 to the San Antonio Spurs in the first couple of minutes and came back to win the game 123-108. OKC has 6 players in double figures with big contributions from their bench. Jared McCain had 24 points. Jaylin Williams had 18 points. And the MVP, Shai, finished a good game with 26 points. He went on to say that I thought the Spurs lost their cool a little bit tonight, and that hurt them. And Magic Johnson is correct. There's there's nothing wrong with what Magic Johnson said. I don't disagree with him one bit. This shows the this shows the immaturity of the San Antonio Spurs, but it also shows the championship makeup and mentality from OKC. I could just break it down just like that. It really showed the championship mentality of OKC. And you know what? I get it, guys. I get it that Wemby was getting fouled, but let me tell you something. That's no excuse. You can't really rely on that in this juncture of the season. You have to push through it. You have to push through it. You can't have any excuses at this point. You got to push through it. As you can see here, see, this is the play where I'm talking about with Stephon Castle. You mad at Caruso for hustling? This right here, yeah, it was a little push, but it's the playoffs. It's the playoffs. And Stephon Castle, like, get off me, get off me. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. Let me just say this with Stephon Castle. Stephon Castle made some terrible turnovers through this game last night. And he struggled from the free throw line. And he just has to mature as a basketball player. And no doubt I think he's going to mature as he gains more experience. But this is a learning lesson for him, for Stephon Castle. This is a learning lesson for him. OKC is well seasoned. Let me tell y'all something, man. OKC is well seasoned. Yeah, they're going to flop and all that, but you have to have a strategy and you have to be not only physically ready, but mentally to beat a team like OKC. You have to be the whole team has to be locked in, and you have to have controlled emotions to go out here and beat OKC in a 7-game series. You know, that's not a bad play by Caruso. That's not a bad play. That's not a bad play. I'm just being honest. That's not a bad play. This is not a bad play. There's nothing flagrant about this foul. That's a good foul. Why are we mad? Why are we mad? It's the playoffs. It's the freaking playoffs. There's no reason to be mad. You save that energy on the other end of the court. Make baskets. Play defense. Win the game. That's how you're able to overcome. Because at the end of the day, it's all about wins and losses. Nobody doesn't care when you're a loser. OKC came to your house and they took your milk and cookies. Pause. They took your milk and cookies. Just as simple as that. As simple as that. You know, we can say that how OKC is flopping and all this stuff and how their style is just not fun to watch. But let me tell you something. They played winning basketball, and I have to give them their props. I would be naive. I would be naive if I don't give OKC their props. I said it on my yesterday on my live stream is that it is important. Let me say this again. It is important for OKC, for the San Antonio Spurs to win last night. In order to keep that momentum, all they work for to take game one in OKC, you want to win tonight in game 3 to put pressure on OKC. Do you just imagine the pressure would have been on OKC to have to win game 4 in San Antonio? Do you amount the pressure that would have been? And I believe this possibly could have caused the San Antonio Spurs the series. I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now. Game 3, we're going to look back on it. Game 3 possibly caused the San Antonio Spurs the series. Just as simple as that. That's how vital, in just my opinion, that's how vital game 3 was. That's last night was. It really was a must win for the Spurs for a multitude of reasons. This could be the reason why they end up losing the series. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I'm telling you, we're going to come back on this game 3 and they let one get away from them. Just as simple as that. They say Wemby's was getting fouled and all this. Let me just say this too. Victor Wembanyama looked frustrated. He looked frustrated. He looked frustrated last night. I'm telling y'all guys that. He looked frustrated last night. I believe he didn't like the full flow of the offense. I believe he was frustrated with a couple of the players. He just looked very frustrated. And then you have Bobby Portis. He said, "Okay, sees the Spurs as a little brother." I don't disagree with it. I'm telling y'all guys. I'm telling y'all guys, OKC was physical. Listen to what he had to say right here.
Yeah, I agree, Bobby. Especially this Thunder Spurs series is outrageous. The Thunder tie it up. The series last night 1-1. Do you think this series is just destined to go 7? Like, is that what it's feeling like right now?
Yeah, I think so. I see. It's a Dylan Harper injury. I don't know like the extent of it. That could bother the Spurs for sure. His impact on the game is next level. He don't even play like a rookie at all. Big fan of his game for sure. Going to be an all-star one day. I think that OKC probably has the upper edge only because they've been here before. They've been in these type of settings, these type of, scenarios and situations. Obviously, they're still looking at, the Spurs like they little bro. Spurs knew her just they first run at it, but
Yeah, I agree, Bobby. Especially
Just as simple as that. Just as simple as that, as you could put it. OKC have experience, check. They have the ability to go out there and play defense and get stops, check. And they have an MVP in Shai knowing how to go out there and get buckets in crucial situations, check. And they have a great team. They have a great nucleus around Shai. I mean, these guys are ballers. These guys are hustlers. These guys go out here and hustle on the basketball court. And, Harper, him being kind of somewhat injured, does hurt the Spurs. But at the end of the day, you still got to go out there and play. You still got to go out there and play. And you still got to go out there and perform at a high level. Like, come on, man. This it's playoff foul. I'm not mad at that play by Caruso. And look at this move. Saying he flopping. Was it a flop? Yeah, it was a flop. But at the end of the day, man, you got to go out there and play the game. You had an opportunity to, and I'm talking about the Spurs, you had an opportunity to go out there and win. And just as simple as that. Look at this. These are the final moments right here. Let's go here. Let's see. Good move. Good shot. Good shot. You go to Spurs with the ball. You have De'Aaron Fox. Good shot. Look at this. Good move by Chet. Good floater. That boy can play. Good shot. And let me just say this: as I was watching this game, OKC was leading this game most of this game. They were leading, which tells me OKC was locked in and dialed in. And San Antonio, after that great start San Antonio had in this game in Game 3, it was like 15-0 at one point. You can tell as OKC, as the Spurs was up by 15-0. But you can tell as the game went on, OKC started to settle in. And as they started to settle in, they started running their offense better. They started to play defense better as a team. They started to get lockdown defensive stops. These are the makeups of a championship team. Do I believe that the Spurs have an opportunity to beat OKC in this series? Yeah. They have an opportunity. Guess what? They lost Game 3. Win Game 4, then you go to a Game 5 back in OKC. You win that game, and you give yourself an opportunity to close it out back on your home court. Now, is it an uphill battle? You damn right it is. But you have an opportunity, and that's all you can ask for as a team. You have an opportunity. Victor Wembanyama. Good shot. Good shot. Good defense. 102-92 with 7 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Good pass. Good no call by the refs. Victor Wembanyama with the 3. Good. Victor Wembanyama can hit that shot, but in those moments, and this is what I would say about Victor Wembanyama, he's a phenomenal player, but this is where you want to go down to the paint and you want to punish a team, because I want to see a big man like that down in the post, because I believe it's going to be better positioning for him And also, it's going to put so much stress on the OKC defense where you can kick it out to your shooters from the San Antonio perspective to be able to hit that three ball if they're going to be doubling and tripling teaming Victor Wembanyama. But when you have someone that's 7'5" and you're really bailing out the defense by shooting long shots in this tenure of the ball game. When you're talking about 6 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter and you're shooting the three ball and you're 7'5", I would like my big man, my center, to be down in the post. Here goes Shai. This little guy right here was huge. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the passing. Wow. 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 See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? When Victor Wembanyama goes to the post, he is a difference maker. You put so much stress on the OKC defense. That's where I want Victor Wembanyama, especially late in the ball game. You got 4 minutes. Look, 4 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Get down in the paint. You're going to get results like what you got. Let's watch this again. Look, he posts up. There's nothing he could do about him. There's nothing. Look, he's down in the post. Good play. See, you're driving the basketball. But it all starts when you have Victor Wembanyama in the post. So much attention that Victor Wembanyama demands. It opens the lane up for the rest of the team for the Spurs. Huge. See? Huge. Oh, man, that's a defensive breakdown. Defensive breakdown. Huge. Look at this. Oh, man, good play. Yeah. Yeah. And as you know, the game was over. Game was over at this point. Game is over at this point. Props to the OKC. Props to OKC. Props. They played a wonderful game. Wonderful game. Wonderful game. At the end of the day, man, you can't say nothing about flopping in game 3. Only thing that you can do is give OKC their props. They came out here, they had to win this game in their eyes, and they went out and they did what they were supposed to do. All right, man. Y'all stay tuned to the next video, man, where we share nothing but my experiences and also my in-depth analysis of different sports results. And this right here was a huge loss for the Spurs. Now they have to go back to the drawing board, and they have to win game 4. You have to win game 4. If you don't win game 4, you are in trouble. Big time. Y'all stay tuned to the next live stream later on today. Take care.